Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and it's time for week 5 of
The Summer of Sylvester Stallone!
Point is, it's week 5 of the Summer of Sylvester Stallone, and I'm here to review all kinds of movies that Sylvester Stallone has worked in, even those that are not super high well known that I'm getting a ton of requests for that I'm not going to be able to get to. Like Cliffhanger. I'm going to review all manner of movies, even Assassins. Released in 1995, Assassin stars Sylvester Stallone as an assassin, Robert Rath, who ends up in an assassin off with another assassin, Miguel Bain, played by Antonio Banderas. Along the way, Julianne Moore joins the cast. You know, Sarah from The Lost World, and unfortunately Stallone decides not to kill her. This results in a zany adventure as Rath must fight to keep her alive, while at the same time doing one last contract so he can retire from assassinating a super ultra mega millionaire, while at the same time Banderas, well, he just fucking upstages him. This puts the film in a strange spot for the summer special, as it stars Stallone, the man gets top billing, is the protagonist, but Banderas steals the show hands down, as his character is, simply put, a hell of a lot more enjoyable to watch. How much so? Let's take a look at Assassins and find out. The movie, don't go start staring at Assassins, it's not safe. The film opens to black and white footage of the two most important things for an assassin: money and guns, set to the tune of children singing. Right, so I know you're supposed to do something drastic to grab the audience's attention, but does confusing the fuck out of them really count? Making complete sense, this transitions oh so naturally over to a swamp. Here we see Sylvester Stallone as Robert Rath, escorting a former colleague to, well, let's call it a retirement party.
You're so high and mighty. You and your principles. Someone had to do the jobs you wouldn't do.
Well, considering doing said jobs, you found yourself on the business end of a suppressed 22, I fail to see how this was a bad call on his part. We can count this as one of those jobs he won't do, as Rath gives the man a gun so that he may have some honor in taking his own life. But this was a kill-for-money contract, so who gets paid? Does it go to his kids? I suppose it matters just about as much as ever bringing this character up again. More importantly, we establish that Rath has a Macintosh PowerBook 540C rocking a 33 MHz processor and 4 MB of RAM for the low price of $5,000. This also grants him access to the magical interweb thing, only used by the military, mud enthusiasts, and criminal organizations setting up assassination jobs.
I don't care what you believe. I've had it. I want out and quit.
Unfortunately, the lack of an assassin's union, or creed if you will, does make retiring a difficult endeavor. I guess. You kinda have to assume that if he quits, Rath will have a hit out on himself because he just talks to himself about quitting, then goes ahead and takes another contract. This time, he must kill a high-ranking, elusive company man at his brother's funeral. Kind of a 2-for-1 deal. But before he can...
Amen. Because God has chosen to call our brother Samuel from this life to... Oh my God.
Fucking kill stealers. Anyway, if he did get paid for that other one, does that mean he still gets the money for this contract? Or is that not how this works anymore? I guess not, as Rath takes great offense to having his contract sniped by none other than Antonio Banderas, which results in a sneaky shootout. That cast is a pretty shitty way to hide that you happen to have a gun. Or a fucking awesome way to cosplay that you have a Mega Buster. Banderas also proves to be a much better shot than Stallone, but to be fair, Rath's cast does kind of obscure the sights. Still, the police show up and, because the plot says so, pay no attention to the man firing bullets from his broken arm, instead capturing the guy with the scary-looking guns.
Bring it back! Bring it back! Bring it back! Come on, get in!
But never mind all this slow build-up and attempts at being artistic, because that's nothing that a good car chase can't cure.
Hey, wait a minute, buddy! Evidence, let's go!
So he's going to have to go really fast, too.
Hold it!
Fucking hell, this is how the pursuit scene goes. It's enough to make driving Miss Daisy look like Tokyo Drift. By the time Stallone takes off, chasing his foe as fast as the speed limit will allow, it's too late. Banderas has already dislocated his thumb, allowing him to pull some Rico Rodriguez moves, killing the driver and escaping police custody with only some slight bruising well before Wrath can catch up to him. So, he catches a taxi.
Insurance, I don't know. Here, take the whole thing. I'm sorry about these things.
You got the GTA thing mostly right, except the order. You're supposed to punch the cab driver out and then take the money. In actuality, this is all a means to track down the second assassin, as a call comes in for someone wanting a ride to the airport, and anyone who would want to do such a thing is obviously a murderer.
Airport.
You got it.
Which finally brings us to the point in the movie where Stallone actually becomes enjoyable to watch.
You know you got a cut on your head here. You see that?
Yeah, I had an accident at work.
I slipped and fell while filing paperwork. But when the driver doesn't go to the airport, and Banderas realizes something is amiss, they do the professional thing and introduce themselves at gunpoint.
What? Bane? Miguel Bane?
Bane and Wrath? Yeah, this is a 2-hour movie with a deep and twisting, intricate plot and 2 well-written characters. Bane and Wrath. Bane and fucking Wrath. Mainly they establish that Bane knows Wrath. Wrath is a legend. But these two are rivals now. Also, Bane is a bit of a loose cannon.
I had to try. I mean, who knows? Maybe it wasn't made in America.
And for good or for ill, the second Stallone finally becomes interesting to watch in this movie, Banderas upstages the fuck out of him. He can't just sit still, though, breaking the window and trying to take Stallone out while he drives. Now, if he wanted to take him out anyway, why didn't he just shoot Stallone in the back while they were out in the funeral? I mean, what was stopping him? One thing that prevents it here is that Bane loses his gun. Wrath has no time to finish him off, though, as the police chase the men around the city. At least until Banderas leaps out of the car, then the cops settle for just chasing Stallone down. How will he lose his pursuers?
We don't got it.
Pfft, that was fast. You mean to tell me none of the cops actually saw which cab he ran out of? Oh, Stallone has teleportation powers in this movie. Okay. No bother. Another day, another contract, while Wrath complains to himself that he wants to retire. And what better way to retire than by doing yet another assassination?
2 million and I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Because making 20 grand a week for at least 15 years means there's no way he could have possibly saved up that money. No, just need to do one more job. This job is made a little more complicated because the target is one of those weird internet people who is only known by their incredibly generic choice of avatars. No bother, the movie can just shift over to her apartment and introduce the audience directly to her. Electra, played by Julianne Moore. So is this movie establishing that she is eavesdropping on her neighbors and deserves to die, or that she invented reality television and deserves to die? She's on the way to a hotel to do her own nefarious deal, so Stallone heads there as well to kill the fuck out of everyone and get paid. But he notices something.
Cut your hair.
Well, it is relieving to know that doesn't just happen to me. Of course, he isn't the only assassin on this particular job. And considering how lax the security are, it doesn't seem to be any reason he should be so sneaky about it.
Interpol.
Plus it was fucking Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization. If they just stood there and let Banderas shoot him to death with a .22, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that all the police attention on Act 1 was just a fluke. So Banderas tracks and kills the buyers, while Stallone figures out which room the Mark was staying in. However, this is the part where the brooding, stoic protagonist realizes that he hasn't been laid in like 20 years and spares her life. Because we gotta do something to make this movie's plot slightly interesting.
Who the hell are you?
I'm a government employee.
That's bullshit.
Oh, no, not that interesting. This isn't going to turn into a completely fucking different movie all of a sudden. Though he swears that it's his job to protect her, instead of kill her, like his job literally is to do, and showing some smarts, she doesn't buy it. Of course, she isn't too bright, still fleeing onto an easily tracked bus route and leaving her pet cat behind. But he can't just follow the predetermined route. That's not showing off his tenacity enough, so Stallone figures out which pet shop she frequents and gets his information from there.
Where's her mama?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Just so happened to luck out that this ghost, completely unknown to the world and extremely secretive about her personal information, still signed up for the Pet Shop Savings Club card with a real address. Banderas, on the other hand, uses a random photo of the cat along with his intricate knowledge of how the city looks from pretty much every vantage point to find her apartment building, but still goes in the wrong one.
Where is he?
You sick little bitch.
Downstairs.
Yeah, she accepts Stallone is here to help now. What, it's a 2-hour movie, I gotta get through this shit fast. Point is, Elektra flees while Wrath and Bane try to kill each other. And then the neighbor woman comes home, doesn't notice her husband is fucking dead, but does notice the surveillance camera in the smoke detector.
What the hell do you think? Surprise. The disc. The disc. Hey, wait!
Okay, guys, I know the 22 is the caliber responsible for the most fatalities out of any of them, but it's also responsible for the most survived gunshot wounds. So, you mind explaining to me how the hell you're killing fucking everyone with one shot to the midsection? The point is, he thinks he killed the mark, so Stallone is able to tell Elektra to flee. Again. Before blowing the whole fucking apartment. Before there was nuking the fridge or frying the Coke, there was blowing the dining room table. Wait. No, never mind. Banderas lives, because that's how it works, but believes he has killed the mark. Elektra, however, has escaped with Wrath. At this point, she still doesn't trust him, but as she has no choice but to go with him, is entirely focused on giving him every reason under the sun not to trust her.
Sorry you let me have the gun? You think it was a mistake?
Fucking brilliant. The only man in the last 24 hours who has not out and out tried to kill you, and you're fucking encouraging him to. Bravo! But we should feel sad for her. She's only shooting at him because of how socially awkward the internet has made her. I mean, look how crude Banderas gets when you put him behind a keyboard.
Fuck you.
But it's a perfectly acceptable way to talk to a cunt.
Yeah!
It's interesting how Banderas' keyboard seems to be equipped with a fuck you button. It's years ahead of its time. In any case, Wrath has the advantage in this situation and easily gets Elektra's assistance in completing the contract. Sans the whole killing her part by offering to split the $2 million bounty on her floppy disk of super awesome mystery data. Yeah, back at the data transfer scene, they showed several files in excess of 100 megabytes on that disk, while at the time, the highest capacity floptical disks out there were only 21 megabytes, but that's not nearly the biggest problem this has. A bigger problem right this second is the exchange goes perfectly. The contractors get their disk, while Stallone and Elektra get...
What are you doing?
A bomb. Couldn't they still turn around and get a little bit? Not all of that money's on fire. So that went nowhere, except wouldn't you know it, Elektra knew this plot twist was coming and prepared her own. Turns out that was a decoy disc they got, with completely worthless data, which means they can bargain with the contractor who just tried to kill them by asking for even more money.
$20 million? Jesus.
Well, at least this time it's actually more than he could have made in 15 years at 20 grand a week. Slightly. So they'll have their $20 million just as soon as Wrath transfers the $5,000 to the kind Nigerian prince to take care of that pesky transfer fee. Bane, however, has moved on with his life and is ready to take on a new job, killing someone else for money. fucking with my movies. There is Marcus Wrath. So he has to kill the person that he's been trying to kill. What a twist. Taking a day to travel south of the border to the bank where he stands to get paid for the disc, Wrath and Elektra still have another day until the transfer takes place. Thus, knowing that Bane is coming to kill him, because he read ahead in the script again, Stallone briefs the new partner on where their foe will be and what will happen on the day that Bane tries to assassinate him. Details he knows so well because it turns out his dark secret is that 15 years ago, Wrath assassinated his former friend and colleague from this same spot in the same way. Because the mark of a master assassin is predictability. Still, it's not until tomorrow, and tonight is a celebration of the Day of the Dead. But hell, they show more Banderas, so it's at least fun to watch.
One day you are here, and the next day you are down there. You know, I put a lot of people down there. Oh yeah, a lot of people down there.
Some say so enjoyable, they really should have swapped Sylvester and Antonio's roles, but I disagree. I think that Banderas is fun as the loose cannon villain. He just needed a hell of a lot more screen time. Anyway, we're finally at the big transfer scene. Not the climax yet, we've still got over a half hour of movie to go. I know bank transfers take a while, but fuck. Anyway, while Stallone sits in the air-conditioned bank and sips on fruity drinks, Banderas is out on the balcony of the abandoned building in the sweltering heat under the sun. Which also means he's in broad daylight and in clear view of everyone as he brandishes that gun around, but no one's scripted to notice him, so he's fine. He's also supposed to lose his patience and run off into the bank to see what the hell is going on, which gives Elektra the chance to slip into the burnt-down hotel and see if she can find his gun.
The rifle should be on the right side.
It is so. The gun is going to be right here. It's not here.
I'm not sure what's happening.
How the fuck would Wrath know where Bane stashed the gun? Even if it is how you did it before, 15 years ago, there's no reason for him to do it that way now. Would anyone actually know that mundane of a detail? It's not really worth writing down. And even if they did write it down, why the fuck would he have to follow that? Still, guns are a no-go in the bank, so Banderas and Stallone end up just having a little chat about the whole trying to kill each other thing.
But just between you and me, I'm nervous. Woo.
Would you two get it over with and kiss already?
You won't do that way.
No.
Can't say I didn't try. Their conversation done, he leaves, but there's a slight problem that Elektra is still up on the building without the gun or a way to contact Stallone as their two-way radio is out. However, she does have that handy .22 that Wrath left her, which now doesn't kill anything it touches, but only does so much damage as your average air gun. That way, Banderas can be shot time and time again, yet still fight back long enough for Stallone to show up and defeat him with his manliness. This would bring the story to a close, except...
That was no way to talk to a lady.
It turns out the man he killed 15 years ago wasn't killed, and has in fact been toying with him, giving him contracts for these 15 years. Because... it makes a hell of a plot for a movie!
He always went for the heart. Predictable.
Well, that's not the part I'm having trouble with. It's you dragging him along for 15 years, and where the hell you got all that money? They cover why he wants the disc, as he disappeared, and that data contains some proof that he's still alive, meaning he kind of fucked up that disappearing part. He wants it destroyed. But he got the disc. That was part of the exchange earlier, so problem solved? The reason he has to kill these two is because they know he's alive? It's only because he just walked up to him. Minutes after he's introduced, Nikolai is fucking killed, making that whole walk-up to professional assassins thing kind of dumb on his part, but Stallone doesn't shoot Banderas. The two actually seem to come to a mutual understanding that Wrath is retired, which means that Bane is automatically the best.
You know, as long as you are out there, I'll never be number one.
Ooh, a twist ending again. Just fucking shoot him. So, after getting shot 30 or 40 fucking times, Bane finally dies. For real this time. And our story comes to a close with Wrath and Elektra getting the money and just leaving. Which ends the movie. Fucking finally. Anyway, that was Assassins, and it's over 2 hours long. Obviously, I feel like this could have been shorter, and it's a bit of an odd case. Assassins does have some genuinely good things about it, but it's hampered pretty heavily by a lot of tedium, and so much of the movie is simply boring. That is a very damning statement, as a film boring its audience is just about the worst thing it could do, but hear me out. The first half of the film is insanely slowly paced. Settings are given long, establishing shots, but never used again, which makes that kind of time spent on them feel pointless. Stallone also isn't much fun to watch. He has his moments, mostly in the second half of the flick, but our introduction to him is that he is a bland, quiet, stoic man who doesn't do anything to excite the audience. However, the co-star, Antonio Banderas, steals the show so much it could be a crime. It's hard to find a scene he's in which isn't a joy to watch. I guess him playing dead during the ending. Does that count? Banderas could have carried this movie in his performance alone, but unfortunately he doesn't have nearly enough screen time to do this. This leaves us with a pretty standard script, peppered with one brilliant performance, but stretched out over a 2-hour running time, and topped off with some plot twists out of left field that it's really hard to care about. There's entertainment to be had here, but you'll have more fun watching a highlight reel than the movie itself, coming in at 2 artistic reenactments of what the producers did with the studio's money out of 5. It's a lot harder to rate than usual. As enjoyable as some parts can be, there was a lot of boring shit you had to sit through to get there, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado. And remember, as awesome as that Mega Buster cosplay is, you won't be allowed in conventions with that thing.
One day you are here, and the next day you are down there. You know, I put a lot of people down there. Oh yeah, a lot of people down there.
You care to fucking... Oh, I got paid. Okay, never mind. I'm happy.